Hi everyone, it's Verity here, back again with you from incubusfly.wordpress.com. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. Hope you're doing alright. Is it Friday today? It is Friday. And I am bringing you this card today, which I have made using the Game On stamp set. So this was one in the catalogue, but I thought I've got to have this because it's just different. Really nice. And me and my husband, we have some friends that we play games with and stuff, and I just thought it was a nice set for me and mine to have in the collection. And this is what I made using soft suede crumb cake colour combination. So I'm going to replicate that, but use shades of grey and black instead, so you get a different look. It's a cling rubber stamp, so all my stamps have been popped out and I've got them on blocks ready to go. We're going to use a basic grey card base, and I'm going to use the matching ink to add some of these the chessboard pieces, the squares, onto the background layer. I'm not trying to line them up particularly, just to give some interest behind what will eventually be on the front. So I'm just going around there and leaving that space in the middle. Have I got the so that's what's going to go in the middle, so that should be fine, I think. So that's all we're going to do with that just for the moment, just so that it's prepared. And I'm going to take some Whisper White cardstock here and take my chess pieces, and we're going to use grey granite ink to stamp those. I'm actually going to stamp them. Why am I doing it like that? That's daft, isn't it? That's not how we do it. Take the stamp to the ink pad and some light tapping. There is quite a lot of detail in the image, so you want to make sure it's well and truly inked. Yeah, it's alright. Just thinking about making sure I've got room to die cut around it, that's all. Be fine. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Nope. Oh, there it is. Right, done. And I'm going to do this 3 times because we're going to cut out some of the pieces to do some kind of decoupage effect and give the card a little bit more dimension. So I'm just going to put that away for a moment. And whilst I've got it on the sheet, I'm going to use my Wink of Stella brush pen, which, to be honest, is pretty much almost dry, but it just gives a very subtle look to the pieces, and it just pulls out the ink just slightly from the line art and just gives the pieces just a hint of colour. It's very subtle, so I don't think you can see the difference from where you are right now. I'll bring it up to the camera in a minute. So I want the knight, pawn and the rook on here. I'm going slightly over the lines because I know I'm going to cut them out, and I just want the pawn on this one. just easier to do that when they're on the sheet rather than doing it after they've right. The like I say, it's quite dry, my Wink of Stella, but it just gives, oh there we are, you can see that on the neck of the knight there, just a hint of something, and in real life it really pops. It's really nice, really nice. So what we'll do is we will just die cut that from the sheet, and then we'll start cutting out the other bits. So this is the one I want to keep, so I'm using the largest stitched square die there, and I'm going to the image is closer to the top edge than it is to the bottom, which allows me room to build up the rest of my image. And I didn't get some tape ready, so let's just get me just some old washi tape. Tack that in. I'm just going to run that through my die cut machine. So all that clanking and banging is perfectly normal. And while we're on the while we're die cutting, I'm just going to die cut the largest of the layering squares from grey granite cardstock. So that's ready to layer up. So that's there ready. Just leave that to one side for a sec. So that's our full topper, which we'll just leave to one side for a moment. And like I say, we're going to just fussy cut these. This is totally optional. You could make the card without doing any of this additional layering, but I would say you just need to when you die cut it, just make it a little bit more central. These aren't too bad to cut out, I have to say. So if you, I did do a little bit of a, what did I fussy cut? I can't remember what I fussy cut. It might have been a flower of some description or anything. Anyway, if you move your paper rather than your scissors, you get a much smoother cut around the edge of your images. There we are, a teeny tiny pawn. This knight. Try not to cut off his ears. Cutting away the excess card sometimes helps you get round any of the more fiddly bits, especially if you're kind of trying to go round on yourself, if you know what I mean. There's a knight. Just realised I had no idea whether you could actually see me cutting those other ones. Sorry if you missed that. it doesn't take too long. And I think the end result is actually really nice. I think it really gives the card a nice bit of dimension. Oops, trying to escape from me. But like I say, totally optional. You do not have to do this bit if you don't feel comfortable doing that. This one's a little bit more straightforward, more straight lines. There we go. That didn't take too long. Move these scraps out of my way. There we are. So let's put some of these pieces together. So I'm ready. So this is just going to go flat onto my grey granite square. And this is going to go onto the card base with dimensionals. Those backings off nice and easy. Here's our prepared card base. I'm just centraling, I'm just making the card base level, and then on that slightly above centre, because the sentiment is going to go underneath. Sometimes when you've got this random stamping on the background, it makes it a little tricky to tell if your topper is straight. I think that's okay. So it can be a little more tricky. These little teeny tiny things, we're going to use mini dimensionals, little teeny tiny dimensionals. So the rook is quite easy to get a couple on there, and so is the knight. The pawns are a little bit smaller, so a full one can go at the base if you position it right. Just take your time at home. And then the head of the piece is actually really small, so I'm just going to snip the tiniest of pieces off here, and I'm going to cut those in half too, to make a teeny tiny piece of dimensional to go onto the tops of those. There we are. And take all the backings off, and you can position these wherever you like. So I haven't layered them over the existing images. I've added to them, because you will get multiple pieces obviously on a chessboard. So I've coloured them so they look like they're all from the same side, so they're all white, or I guess because they look more white than they do the dark colour. But of course you could colour them differently. I mean, you get chess sets in all sorts of interesting substances these days. You can get all sorts of things. So I'm adding the knight over here, then I'm going to place the rook over here, and then we're going to add the pawns. So I think these 3D elements, if you've got the patience to fussy cut them out, I think it does add something to the card. Oh, sorry about the flare there. Trying to get it so that you can actually see the dimension really. I think it really helps. So the only thing to do is to add the sentiment. So I used this strip of card for the other one, so I'm just going to bring back in the grey granite ink. Some light tapping on there. Just going to stamp that at the bottom of this strip, which just so happened when I picked it out of my scrap box of the original, just so happened to be the right width. I didn't cut it down any further. I just need to trim it down off the strip itself. So the trimmer is beautiful for this. You can line it up really nice and straight. Use the runners to line that up and get a nice border. And we're going to add a couple of dimensionals. That's the last two on that strip, last whole ones anyway. Get it right up. And just push that underneath. There we are. Didn't take very long at all. Less than 20 minutes there. To actually get that done. Hadn't done any of the die cutting either, and I did all the fussy cutting. So I think either colourway works quite well with this stamp set. You could have equally just gone completely monochrome and gone with Memento and basic black cardstock. That would have worked too, not a problem. And like I say, I mean, if you're up for making something a little bit more fun, then play with colours. So this was Game On. Really nice. These cards are nice, aren't they? Look at the detail in those stamps. Aren't they great? Okay, hope you've enjoyed that. All the supplies will be listed in the corresponding blog post, which will be linked down in the description bar at the bottom here. Please give me a like, subscribe to my channel for more. I post about 4 videos a week, depending on whether I'm participating in any other challenges or anything like that, but I'm going to try and do 4 a week, and I'd appreciate your company. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Almost the weekend. Alright. Take care everyone. Bye.